So welcome back to Open and Honest. I am Dr. Jackie, and this is Dr. Heavenly, and we have a special guest on the couch today. This is Alaura Kimes, and the reason she's here, we're talking about a really important topic.
We're going to keep it G-rated because she ain't but 14, okay, Dr. Jackie? Don't get all into the walls or nothing. I don't want to do that in front of my baby, okay?
Okay, and so today we're going to keep it G-rated because we have a young
baby girl,
teenager
sweet,
on the couch.
innocent.
And so today's topic,
stir it up.
yes, is going to stir it up because we're talking about raising teenagers, especially teenage girls. Mm-hmm. So here's a question that came in. Can we talk about teen moms and daughter relationships? Mm-hmm. My daughter, 17, almost 18, feels that it's okay to keep dating a boy who had sex with her ex-girlfriend.
Wait a minute, what? Wait a minute, my daughter 14. Be
17.
Careful.
Okay. But she's going to learn what not to do as well as what to do today.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep them separated because I can't stand the boy. But she's giving him another chance. I want to focus on her finishing high school and going to college. Could you help me, please? What advice would you give this mother who is trying to keep her 17, almost 18-year-old daughter away from a guy who had relationships with her daughter's best friend?
Okay, what we're going to do here today is we're going to ask you what's your opinion on what the girl should do when she her boyfriend stepped out on her with her best friend. What should she do, Dr. Jackie?
I would tell my daughter to stop seeing him.
Okay, but that ain't for you to decide.
I'm her mother, and it is my place to give her advice.
You can give her advice, but you can't stop her from doing it. Okay?
I didn't say I would.
If she did it anyway, what would you do?
Tell her to be very cautious and be careful because there's something with the integrity there. I still do say, as I've said many times before, good people make bad decisions. However, at this young age, it really isn't a lot of room to have these kind of mistakes made going into college years. And so I would advise her that this may not be the guy for her.
Okay. Alaura, your friend, not you, has a boyfriend, right? Mm-hmm. And her boyfriend dated her best friend. What advice would you give her friend? Your friend.
My friend dated
your friend's
boyfriend.
No, your
dated her best friend.
Mm-hmm. So your best friend's boyfriend dated one of her friends.
Not you.
Right. What would you tell your friend?
I would just be like, make sure he's not still flirty or any type of way toward that girl that the past is in the past.
So she can go back with the boy after.
Now he dated while they were.
Cheated.
He cheated.
You didn't say that. I was trying to keep it politically correct with you. For you, he stepped out and cheated.
Then leave him. This is only college, high school.
Right.
School, right.
You can't. No.
Yeah. Leave him.
Leave him. That's your advice. Leave him. Just leave him. Suppose you love him.
You can love somebody else.
There you have it. I taught my daughter well. Didn't I teach her?
Yeah.
Listen, I honestly feel that at that age, you probably are not going to be with the person you're going to be with anyway. Mm-hmm. So if they made a mistake in that young, we're young, we're learning things, we're making new friends, we're meeting new people, you're getting ready to go to college, so chances are y'all may not go to the same college anyway. So if he made a mistake like that, it's time to step on and move on. Right, Alaura? It's time to move on.
So as the mother of a beautiful...
So suppose you were 50 years old and your husband stepped out and cheated.
That's not, I can't answer that question.
Okay. Thank you, baby.
No, it wasn't about you, bitch. I always, everything ain't about you. So if I said 60, I was talking about you. I wasn't talking about you.
Now, as a mother to three teenagers, mm-hmm. Well, actually you have a grown son, but to a teenage daughter.
One of my boys is 22, 18, and 14.
So two
grown boys.
Right.
Two grown.
Okay.
18 grown.
How involved should a mother be in her daughter's relationships?
She at 14.
At 15, 16, 17?
No relationships at that age.
Okay, so let's say she were 18.
Okay.
How involved should you be in her relationships with her friend got it.
I honestly think that a light comes on when you turn about 35 or 40. I'm gonna say 40. So really, you don't make good decisions. So you have to listen to your mother. Your mother is looking out for your best interest, right, Alaura? Your mother knows best because she's been through a lot already, and your mother has a power of discernment. Okay? She has a power of discernment that can tell you if that person means you good or not. So knowing how much your mother loves you and is looking out for you, I would suggest that she listen to her mama.
Let's role play right quick. I am your boyfriend. You are 18. I want you to introduce me to your mother.
Introduce you.
Yeah, I'm your new boyfriend. Call me Bill.
Bill, this is my mother.
Bill, how old are you?
I'm 18, Dr.
You 18. How old is she?
She's 18.
Okay, y'all the same age. Okay. Okay, what do you do, baby? Are you in school?
Yeah, but I really want to be in a band.
What's your major, baby?
Right now, I'm undecided.
How do you plan? Well, you ain't gonna take care of my daughter because this ain't gonna go too much further. But why do you feel like you could waste her time?
I mean, I love Alaura. She's beautiful. She's smart, and you know she got that good.
Cut. Alaura, what is you laughing at, baby? Don't laugh at that. Alaura, you don't even know what that baby talking about. You don't know what she talking about.
She's smart.
She's good and smart.
Yeah, the good. That's the real good, Dr. Kind.
So, Alaura, how do you feel about this boy that is undecided in his major and he wants to be in a band?
I mean, I didn't know he wanted to be.
So basically, y'all don't have any communication because he didn't tell you that.
I told you, Alaura, that I loved you, Alaura. I loved you. Dr. Camps, do you have a problem with me dating your daughter and I'm undecided? I mean, there are a lot of people who didn't even go to college and they make more money than you.
I feel like you look older than 18 to me.
Well, the truth is, I actually am 22. I'm sorry, Laura.
You lied to my baby.
I mean, I knew you wouldn't approve of it if I had told
Laura,
you.
what do you have to say about a man who just lied to you that wants to be in a band that don't know what he want to do with his life? Laura, come on now. We got to be serious now. How do you feel about him?
I mean,
You don't like him, do you?
You can't lead the witness.
Yes, you can. Mama, you don't like him, do you?
So if your mother told you you didn't like a
You
guy,
want me to tell him to go home?
well, not if he if he lied to me, it was like, oh, okay, I'm actually 22. As soon as he met my mother, I would leave him.
Right.
But I do feel like it's all in my preference. You know what I'm saying? No,
What do you mean?
I feel as though you have different stuff that you look for, and I have different stuff that I look for. Therefore, being my mother, you can tell me aside, but you can't be in front of him like, you
Right.
can't do that.
Okay, what's your preference?
I don't.
What do you prefer? You put it out there. You have a preference. I know mine.
No. I'm just saying, as a mother and as your daughter, that it's two different things. It doesn't mean.
but if she didn't like your boyfriend, would you automatically
Leave
cut
him?
it off?
No. I feel like, because if you meet him one time, you don't know everything about him, right?
This
But
girl
mommy,
is
I have
brilliant.
a
And I
power
feel
of
like if
discernment, and as soon as I see his sorry ass, I know what he is.
No, but listen, I feel as though if I even brought him to see you, that's because I thought the relationship was serious. I wouldn't just bring him just to bring him.
Okay.
This baby is
but
brilliant.
If I look at him and I can discern that he's not right for you,
That's your opinion. It's not disrespectful for me to say, well, mommy, you know I like him.
And an intelligent mom would want
which I am not and never claimed to be.
Oh, so there's a difference between intelligence and instinct. And so what she's saying right now as a mother, she's operating on her experience and her instincts. And so yes, she is very intelligent. Sometimes your instincts will overtake your intelligence. And I think as a
Thank you,
mom,
Jake.
you're saying to her, it's something about his energy that I just don't care
And
for.
you can't see it yet because just like I said, until you turn 35 or 40, you don't even have that power.
And I
to see.
understand that that'll go into my head, but I'm saying I might not automatically,
Cut it off
Yeah.
like that.
Well, we'll make sure it happens.
Oh, well, that's the next question. What tips would you give your daughter if you didn't like the guy that she was dating?
I would give her, I would make some suggestions. I would tell her to ask him certain questions, dig deeper, take him to church with her. Sometimes you can see people's spirit just in a matter of time. So sometimes it's just a little bit of time that it's going to end anyway, But I do know that if I'm too vocal and I'm too pro against him, she might stay with him just because of that. So I have to be very careful. You know what I mean? How I approach it. I might even act like I like your ignorant tail to make her not like him.
Would that make you not like the guy because your
No.
mama liked him?
So if I didn't like him, would it make you like him more?
But if you did genuinely like him, I mean,
That works, right?
yeah.
So if I didn't like him and I made it very vocal,
That
would
you
make
didn't like him?
right? Would you like him more?
I would just be kind of irritated toward you because I feel like there's a way you act towards people you can still be cordial. You can't just be like, oh, I don't like you.
Would she do that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what tips would you give a mother, Dr. Heavenly, who has a daughter in a situation that we've been role playing here with, that was dating a young man who may not have the potential that she wants him to have and may not feel comfortable with him dating her daughter? What advice would you give a mom of a teenage daughter?
I would say, if you have a close relationship like I have with my daughter, just talk to her. She knows I love her. She knows that I want the best for her. And hopefully everything I've instilled in her, she will learn to listen, and take heed of what I'm saying. Maybe not make a definitive decision right then, but like you say, I'm a consultant. I'm consulting you. So take my advice seriously and at least look into what I'm saying. Because chances are I'm right.
2 questions for both of you. How much does upbringing weigh on how you, Alaura, look at the guys that you would date, and you, Dr. Kimes, Dr. Heavenly, on what guys you would want her to date? So I'm going to ask you first. What is it you've learned from your mom and your dad that weighs in on the kind of boys you would date?
Definitely somebody who cares for me. Like, basically somebody that favors my dad in some sort of way.
In what way?
Like being honest, being caring, being, just
So you're looking for the characteristics of your father.
a little, so that even if it does go past just dating, we need to know.
What do you mean by going past just dating?
Marriage.
Yeah, your date to
Married, okay.
Marriage.
So you're looking for characteristics like your father.
characteristics that I was brought up upon.
So if you had to give 3 words to describe your father, what would they be?
Kind, honest, and
Conscientious.
Caring.
yes.
Yep.
If you had 3 words to describe your mother, what would they be?
Honest,
Very honest.
Brutally honest.
brutally honest,
Why is it so hard? What?
kind,
Very
loving,
Yeah.
Fun. Oh, that's not one of them?
fun.
So she makes you laugh often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You laugh at your mama?
With.
Yes. I laugh with you.
Right.
okay.
So again, your parent is watching your father, which is the person that you probably will model your husband after, has taught you that there are going to be certain guys you probably wouldn't even think of talking to. And, let's say he had some features that you didn't like and he I can't say cursed a lot because your dad doesn't curse at all.
Your mama do.
Right. Well, Dr. Heavenly, how much do you think your influence as a mom and with along with your husband has influenced who Alaura is? Because I mean, as much as she plays, she is very bright.
Right.
Very,
Right.
always has been very mature for her age. What do you think you've shown her?
I think that a lot of kids go by more so what you do rather than what you say. And I would like to think that she looks at her mother as somebody who's strong, somebody who would not conform to just anything, somebody who made great choices in her life, and that she would duplicate that, or And I think that honestly, from a very young age, her father has taken her out on dates one on one. They go to the movies, they do whatever. I know he takes her out one by herself to like Disney World and stuff like that to show her how a man should treat a woman. So I think all of those things have made it so it's going to be difficult, and I think she's going to be very selective in who she chooses to marry. Right, mommy? Right?
And so just watching you, I believe you possess the self-esteem that most moms would want their daughters to have, and that you're very confident in knowing, first and foremost, that you're a bright young lady, and that your education is super important. You're very articulate. Also, I think the balance in your parents, me watching, is you get to laugh because your mom keeps you laughing, but then you know the serious side of life by watching both your parents, but especially Dr. Kimes, Damon himself. What is it you think you as a young Gen X, I believe you would be in the Gen X group, could say to parents, though, to not convince them, but to show them that there are other ways to dating and being, you don't have to be your mom and you don't have to be your dad, but what is your message if your mom go, I don't like him, oh, I don't like him, and they're not going to like anybody you bring home or any choices you make? How do you get parents to hear you as a young 14-year-old Gen X who's quite bright, but how do you convince your parents when it's something you really want to do or somebody you really want to hang out with and they don't want you to?
I definitely would take what she would say into thought, but I feel as though growing up in different times, people act a different sort of way that you might not be used to.
There ain't no new times, baby. I keep telling you, ain't nothing new. It's the same times. It's
Dr.
the same
Kimes,
people. They just
Dr.
a different.
Kimes, we're gonna please let our guests speak.
And it's I'm sorry.
Keep going, baby.
And especially in this generation, like even what you were saying with as far as making sure you pick someone that is the right match for you. It's just if I found that person, like somebody who, like not unlike this generation, a lot of people are not like gentlemen, a lot of people are not brought up upon being, but even if I did choose to bring somebody to meet you, I feel as though that's a big step, and I wouldn't just do it just because.
And we would ask one to at least consider the fine specimen of a daughter you've raised to know that she wouldn't make just any decision. So I have to respectfully disagree with you that there are new things and there are new ways. And
But you don't know.
I do.
No,
I
we don't do that.
I'm just playing.
It's not funny.
But it is, you do have to respect the opinions. Now, I don't
what
know,
she know
in all honesty, where's the fine line of remaining a mother who's caring and demands that their daughter and sons be the best that they can be versus just being difficult and wanting things your way and instilling your value systems from 19 blah blah to.
Honestly, I think that we've done a great job with our children, and that basically at this age, even at 14, I know at 18 and 22, we've done all we can do. So at this point, we just have to sit back and hope that we've instilled the right things in our children, and I think we have, and I do trust her decisions. I think that she's very bright. I think she knows what she wants, and whatever she chose in the end, I would have to conform to it.
Well, that's wonderful.
Right.
How important is it, Alaura, first, to have
Are these stressful questions for you, Alaura? Are they difficult? No.
No, okay. How important is it that your dad is in your life?
I think it's extremely important because growing up with a father shows you a lot of things that growing up with with only a mother would not. Like, as far as how a man should treat you, and like seeing that through your mother and your father's relationship.
It's vitally important, but what do we say to, and I've got great girlfriends who did not have a dad in their life, who have turned out to be wonderful girls, but how is it we can help our girlfriends who may not have a father in their life, especially nowadays? Like, you're not going to bring a whole bunch of young girls to your house and expose them to your dad in today's society. But how do you help a good girlfriend? Do you tell your girlfriend, like, okay, he might not be the right guy for you and a man shouldn't treat you that way? What do we say to our friends so that we can help our friends who may not have had the luxury of having a dad in their life or in their home?
Well,
So you have a girlfriend who's dating a guy and they're making bad decisions, drinking, maybe even drugs, and sneaking off campus. What would you say to her?
I would definitely say in the long run that drinking, drugs, all of that stuff, it could be fun for just then, but you're looking at your whole lifetime, and somebody who's influencing that upon you is not really caring toward you because it's obviously not good for you.
So long-term decisions. You are a wonderful friend. You are a fabulous
But she probably
friend.
has been in that situation where her friends are
I
made.
definitely have.
And what do you tell them?
I can't be like, oh, well, girl, but I'll be like,
You can.
I can, but that's not, I
What
don't
they
feel
wanna
like
hear, and
that's
they probably
not,
wouldn't be your friend, right?
but I'd be like, you know what, I feel as though somebody who's caring towards you would not treat you that sort of way. And of course, even you being this young, you shouldn't have to put up with that.
Absolutely. And so if Laura had a friend, and this is nobody real, who you saw having some ways that could potentially influence your daughter, what would be your opinion about hanging out with girls who may be making some pretty...
You know what? Honestly, I feel like my child is a leader. So I don't really worry about influence. I think she influenced others. Okay, she's not influenced. I think she's the leader of her group. I think she's been raised that way. She's very confident. And she would not follow something that was wrong. If it was something wrong, she did it, and she got other people following. But I think she's a leader.
Now, as the mom of two boys, do you find it different parenting a girl versus parenting
Absolutely,
a boy?
absolutely.
How so?
I think that you have to be more hands-on with girls. I think you have to keep them away from a lot of things. I think that perception is key with kids, with girls. I think that the boys were allowed to do a lot more at a certain age than she will ever be allowed to do.
Now, why is that?
Just double standards. She's a girl. We want her to be safe. Things happen to girls. It's the #1 city for trafficking, So we actually probably are more cautious with her than we ever were with the boys.
Now, do you think that is why we have the trouble, though, in that we allow boys a little bit more of the rope than we do girls? And
Possibly. However, I do give her some rope. I try not to keep her totally in a box. I let her go out. I let her do things, but certain things you can't do. Just like my mom said, you can go to some things, but you can't go to everything. And we try to limit it. I mean, as parents, we do the best we can with what we know. And we try to keep her with her friends, her parents' friends. So we actually have a group of friend girls, and we know their mothers. So if something she's not missing, but if we don't know that, I can always call the mother and say, hey, you know what? Such and such is Alaura with you, or not that she goes out and I don't know where she at, but I could always call the mother.
So Open and Honest today really is about getting parents to talk to their children. Right. I think it's vitally important, and you've shown us, well, you haven't, she's shown us what your great work has done.
I think we have open dialogue, right, Mommy?
What?
We talk about a lot of different things, right?
I mean, yeah.
Are there things you can't tell her?
Yeah.
Really?
Definitely. Because it's still mother-daughter relationship. There's stuff that I don't always open up to you about.
What about Lollywood?
Because I feel as though I know who you are as a person, and I'm not, I'm not.
You what? You know what I'm gonna say? Okay.
So
So
there's
who
no
do you
need.
feel as an adult that you can talk to?
The daddy.
Oh, okay.
No, no. I definitely talk to her, but it's different stuff that I talk to them.
And I think what our wonderful guest is
I
trying
agree to
to
that.
say today is that
You said it was Coke.
it depends. It's just soda.
It is. It's just
It depends on how one would respond versus react to what you're telling them. Is what I think I hear you saying. And
So you think I overreact to things?
Definitely. And
Okay.
that's not bad. It's just
So the daddy does
it's just
not
who
overreact.
you are. The daddy overreacts about certain stuff. You overreact about other things.
Okay, so what do you feel comfortable talking to your father about that you don't feel comfortable talking to me about? You said it.
No, it just
if at any point you don't feel comfortable answering any questions as a guest here today, you don't have to.
we'll
I
talk
think
about
that's
that.
powerful, though, that she's mature enough to say, I know who I can talk about what to, but I do go to my parents. She didn't say I chose a teacher, a counselor. She said, I go to the other parent. So that's extremely powerful that she felt that it.
So you think daddy is nicer than me and he doesn't overreact?
Now
or
we're getting
he
in our
talks to you?
feelings.
I know you don't have to get, all.
I'm not in
you
my
don't-
feelings. I'm just asking a question.
You're getting very defensive.
No, I'm not. I'm just asking a question.
Okay.
So what do you talk to the daddy about you can't talk to me about?
Certain stuff. It's just you as a person. When I tell you stuff, it's not always. I don't know.
And that's fine if you don't exactly know what that might be.
All right. Well, we're going to end this segment now on the teenage open responses and open and honest. I think this has been long enough. In closing call, follow us, subscribe to our channel, and hit that blue bell. Alaura, do you have anything you want to tell the teenagers out there that you've learned from your good mother?
And father.
And father. Definitely be safe in everything that you do. Make the right decision. Something that you can think about in the long run, not just as being a teenager. Because there are definitely things that when you're an adult, you will see as something, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe if I didn't do that, my life could have turned out a completely different way. Make sure you're hanging around with the right crowd. Make sure you're hanging out with people who uplift you. And yeah.
You are brilliant. I mean, out of the mouth of a 14-year-old, you sound like you are more mature than some 25-year-olds. So I have to commend your mother and your father for having done a great job. And we
Great
appreciate
job,
you, and we thank you.
Thank you.
Mama. Thank you for having us.
And Dr. Kimes will take you shopping for that one. Thank you.
Good night.